want your conveyancing solicitors to be ultra thorough. They need to be crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and I'm specifically discussing with you creative deals. Doing creative property deals will work really well for you, because right now, where we are over the next 12 months, you are going to have the potential to speak to more sellers directly. We're in the market right now where it's now becoming a buyer's market. It already is, and in many areas it's going to become even more so. So you can create these lovely relationships directly with sellers. What we call this at Premier is momentum investing. What is momentum investing? Look, anybody can buy property. That's not difficult. You park some money into a property bought. But if you want to be strategic with it, if you want to create a real business, if you want to create more revenue with more properties, with less of your money, well then creative deals really help. Also, creative deals give you peace of mind, because sometimes we do, a number of times we do these creative deals. We do them because they give you a longer runway. You don't have to be all the time, struggling and running around too much. You can give yourself that, just that breath of air where you can have peace of mind and have that longer time frame so you can relax and do things and enjoy them as you're doing them. So rather than doing one deal, why not do 3? Why not? With creative deals, every deal that we do, we tend to buy 10 to 15 projects every month. However, I never buy really 15 projects all in one go. Those are all staggered in different phases of where they are. And creative deals allow you to do this as well. So you can do more with your money, you can do more with less capital, and you can gain yourself peace of mind. Creative deals will also allow you to build in a safety net. Many people perceive property investing and developing to be actually complicated, and they perceive it to be risky. I'm the most de-risked person you will ever meet. What you've got to remember is you're going to need people and you're going to need tools as we go along, right? So one of the tools that you're going to need is a good conveyancing solicitor. If you go the average type of solicitor, the normal solicitor, you're probably going to find your creative deal isn't going to work, because what they're going to tell you is, oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's not possible. Just ignore them. Yeah? Take it in one ear and let it go out the other. You want a conveyancing solicitor that's got benefit of years of experience, that actually understands creative deals, and they can do this. Now, what I'm talking about here is a commercial orientated solicitor, someone who is dealing with the commercial world. These types of solicitors will be a real asset for you to actually get your deals done, because much of your creative deals is paperwork. It's dealing with the legals when it comes to creative deals. What does a conveyancer do? So what do they actually do? They transfer title for a property from one person to another person. That's really what they do. Whether you're purchasing, whether you're selling, whether you're refinancing, that's where the solicitor comes in. Once you've got it to the stage that you're actually buying the property, you got the sale agreed, they will actually review the contracts for you. You do not need to be that professional in terms of the legalities. A good conveyancing solicitor will do that for you. You've just got to have enough information to have a conversation with the solicitor. You don't need to know the nth degree about the contracts. And you can ensure that the conveyancing solicitor is going to do that for you properly, because that's their profession, and their indemnity insurance is at risk if they don't do it properly. Now, having said that, there are some interesting conveyancing solicitors that will miss stuff. Hence, what I'm saying is, you want the ones that are going to work for these creative deals, and I've already explained that, haven't I? The next thing is they will check in on the searches. So just to clarify, searches, so this is a prudent approach, making sure that what you're buying is safe. So they will check the environmental search to make sure there isn't any flood risk and ground stability and so on. They'll also check for you the local authority search, just to make sure, for example, there aren't any restrictions on that property, or the council's going to bulldoze that street wherever you're buying and build a road through it and things like that, right? So CPOs, compulsory purchase orders, and things like that. So these will all be picked up. So like I say, it's a vetting process, a filtering process to make sure what you're buying is safe. Other searches that can be in place are going to be mining searches in mining areas, of course, and also a chancel search if you're getting short-term finance, an old law, chancel, which doesn't really apply anymore. However, short-term lenders will sometimes still ask for this. so you can get a chancel search as well. And if you're developing, then we always go for a drainage search as well, because you want to know where the main drains are and where they lead to underneath your property if you're going to be demolishing. So these are really the key searches that the conveyancing solicitor will do for you. And like I say, it will actually filter out to make sure that what you're buying is really good. The next part of the process is the exchange part. The exchange part is a very exciting part, because this is when, yes, the property is actually yours. Well, actually, what you've done is the legal title hasn't passed yet. However, you have a confirmed legal contract to say that you are buying the property. They can renege on that contract. There are implications. However, they can do that. In fact, let me share with you the implications right now. So if you exchange on a contract and you haven't completed by the completion date, you then have a further 10 working days to actually complete on that project. If you don't complete by those 10 days, the seller's solicitors can actually charge you fees. Also, what they can do after the 10 days is that your deposit will be passed over to the seller and you lose your deposit. They can sue you if they really want to push that, but that becomes a commercial matter, and that's more of a long drawn out process. So in my experience, people don't usually do that, but if they wanted to, they could do that. So that's the exchange. And then what we have is we have the completion part. So the completion is when the equitable title passes to you and you name your company will be registered at Land Registry. You've got to remember that you've got to put it towards Land Registry to register the title as well. And this is all very relevant and even more relevant for creative deals. So you've got to remember all this stuff, right? Now, what a conveyancer also does, it makes sure that it legalizes any type of creative deal that you're doing. Because if you're doing a deal where you're buying something with, let's say, 17.5K and it's worth £1.5 million, do you agree with me that the seller could decide to try to pull out that transaction? So you've got to make sure that your conveyancer is making this squeaky tight to make sure that the contracts are tight and everything is done correctly. That's why you can see on the screen right now, I put as a final point, your conveyancing solicitor will legalize your contract for you to make sure that the seller can't just pull out the deal because you've done amazing things and you've got a really good deal. What do you look for in a conveyancing solicitor? Well, you want to make sure that they are proactive. What does proactive mean? Proactive means they come back to you within 72 hours. Your initial correspondence, before you instruct them, ask them for some quotes, ask them to come back to you on a question and see how they respond. Thorough. You want your conveyancing solicitors to be ultra thorough. They need to be crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and I'm specifically discussing with you creative deals. You want the solicitors where they are asking you questions and you're thinking, why are you asking me these questions that are so detailed? You don't even need to know that. That's the type of solicitor that you want. That's a very good solicitor. Now, next thing, as I mentioned, is that you want to make sure that they are specializing in the commercial field. So you simply ask the question, do you specialize in the commercial field? If you want to get more technical, you can also ask them, do you deal with long stops? If they say to you, what the heck is a long stop? Yeah? Well, then you know that they're not the right solicitor. They probably won't say, what the heck is it? They probably say, no, we don't do that. So you know that they don't know what to do, right? If they say to you, yeah, long stops, yeah, we do that. It's pretty like a regular thing. Well, then that's great. What is a long stop? A long stop is an option where you have the option to buy, but you don't have to buy. It's known as a long stop in the commercial arena in the conveyancing world, right? So you can use that little terminology just to vet your solicitor. Nice little tip there. Your conveyancing solicitor also needs a team around them. Now, a team around them doesn't need to be hundreds of people. 1 or 2 people that can support them is absolutely fine. In summary, what I'm saying is your conveyancing solicitor is the deal maker. Your conveyancing solicitor, the property law, is what makes your deal happen with creative deals. Very important to remember. I think I've drummed that point deep enough, haven't I?